Good night, Sports Frenzy family. Good night, everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Levon. With me tonight, I have Shakes, Manchester United man. Well, other fan says that he's no Manchester United supporter, and he was part of the crowd yesterday at Old Trafford. And we also have Ryan in the building, the man who is in agreement with what those fans did yesterday. What are you doing, gentlemen?
I'm
Good
good.
night. I think you mean Ryan. Ryan was in the
Wonderful.
Manchester United fan group that bomb rushed the place.
Where's the Shakes? He was part of them that was throwing the
Yeah, man.
candy
You
and
and
stones
I,
that actually almost killed him.
you and I were just at
No, why
home
would I be
waiting.
fighting for that cause?
Where's Ryan? You weren't part of the crowd
No, why would I be fighting for that cause?
Yeah, you're a thing
because
that man,
because you
Ryan.
believe that. Hold on, Shakes. The reason why Ryan was part of that crowd is because Ryan believed that fans matter.
Yeah, man. I know, man.
But we're gonna start by talking about some track and field. Now, yesterday we saw one Elaine Thompson first in the preliminary rounds. She ran 10.76 with a plus 3.6 meters per second wind behind her. Now, in the final, she ran 10.78 with a plus 1.8 meters second wind behind her. Shakes, a lot of people are saying that this is the Elaine that we saw when she won the Olympics. This is also Olympic year. Do you actually believe that it's up to Elaine to get into the main and actually challenge Sha'Carri Richardson, or it is too early to call? I just want your views just solely on Elaine Thompson.
All right. Night again, everybody. I'm not going to talk about the Olympics. I'm going to talk about here and now and the times that they have run already, right? So this is what we use in the
Yeah.
early season form. But guess what? I remember I called a show a few years ago saying Elaine Thompson might turn out to be the greatest sprinter Jamaica has ever produced that never was. And I said that solely because she was the double Olympic champion at the time and she's literally won nothing since then. Right? Literally won nothing since then. You don't really find many athletes in history that become a double Olympic sprint champion in the first place, right? But on top of that, to go on and win nothing, that would be a huge shame, not only because of what she accomplished, but because she was so young in terms of track age, right? So let's talk about her now. The best thing that has happened to Elaine since all that disappointment was actually the fact that COVID came about. You know why? Because the track and field season was basically put off. Elaine has been running for years with an injury, an Achilles
True.
injury, which technically can never heal because not only is it the heel which you use to run as an athlete or as a sprinter, but you apply so much that area where technically for that explosive start that she would need in that 100-meter race, it would never ever get better. The only way, if you have what we call tendinosis, which is inflammation of the tendon, right? So it's not torn just yet. For it to heal sufficiently, she would basically have to be off for about 6 months to give it sufficient rest based on her sport. Now, as I said, the fact that COVID has come about enabled her to basically get good time away from the sport last season where she was able to rest the foot. Now, if you realize Elaine is back to 10-7, which is what Elaine that's Elaine's time, you know.
Point out, Shakes, that it's early season and
Yeah.
she's running
Right. And that's
10-7.
what I'm saying. I'm not even going to the Olympics part of it. I'm just going to the here and now. I staying with here and now. 10-7 by Elaine is good enough for me to know that it don't matter what she do, come the Olympics, at least I know she's back to good health. And for me, that's the most important thing. I had a problem with her coach putting her out there to run as an injured athlete. Right? And this is me coming from my medical background. Yeah, the fans just want to see her, but guess what? There's no point in somebody running the 60% or 70% and they're just embarrassing themselves.
So Shakes, here's Jason agreeing with you. Jason says saying that Elena move like Rashford, forced to perform through injury.
I strongly agree with that, right? Because you see, track and field is such an individualistic sport when it comes on to the 100 and 200. So we're not talking about relays. So that is where you make your money as an individual athlete. So you cannot be sitting down for 2 years not running and still making money. Right? That's why I'm saying the pandemic was basically the best thing to come about for Elaine Thompson here. Right? And looking forward, as I said, this 10-7 puts her in good stead. So at least I know that, guess what? She don't have no foot injury anymore. She don't have no Achilles injury anymore. So guess what? You see, going forward now, if I see Elaine choke on the biggest stage when I know that she's in good health, then I can definitely say Elaine Thompson Hera is the greatest sprinter that never was after becoming the double Olympic sprint champion, right? But for her sake, I hope that she is there. She's continues to do good times leading up to the Olympics, and at the Olympics, I want to see her perform. You know why? I'm somebody that likes competition. And you see, the more people that we have there, so Shelley, Richardson, name all of the others, because I mean it's too early to name all of them, right? But in terms of the ones that we know about that have been there already, including Richardson, who, you know, yeah, she had a little fast time, right? But I want to see a Thompson versus Shelley race, as in real race in that 100-meter, right? Because that for me would basically be a legendary race. Yeah, Dina Asher Smith, yeah. Right? But for me, Dina not really in their class. Dina is a little bit below, right? When they're at full throttle.
Can't, but Shakes, you can't count her out, you know,
No, no,
because
no. I'm
remember
not
that she
counting
tested
She
her
got,
out,
water.
you
she
know.
got bronze at the World Championship.
No, our silver. Silver.
It was silver?
Yeah, man, silver.
Oh,
It was the Ivorian that got bronze.
okay.
Talu that got bronze.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, but the reason I wouldn't say Asha Smith is just based on times. You know, I know a runner can run 10-7. I've never seen Dina run 10-7.
I
Right?
understand the point that you're coming from, but Shakes, finish your point because I have a question for Ryan. I have a follow-up question based on what you just said.
Yeah, that's it for me, you know. As I said, I just want to see the best runners. I want to see them healthy. I want to see the winner run possibly, if the track is fast, 10-6.
Shakes, why this man come to kill my argument, man?
Oh, sorry.
Alright, Ryan, my question that I was about to ask you, right? Because you and I spoke about Brianna the other day when we're saying that Brianna hasn't broken 11 seconds for her PB as yet, right?
Yeah.
Now we're looking at Shelley and Fraser Price and Elaine Thompson era, and both super talented athletes. But based on the years that they have been in the sport, doesn't it bother you as a track fan that neither of these two have the 10-6 barrier?
Not really, you know, because women, how many women are doing that?
No, but alright, what I'm getting at is you look at Carmelita Jetta. Some might say that yeah, she was probably this or that and whatnot. However, if Jetta can get there, right? Question to you: would you say that Jetta is more talented,
No,
or would you say Jetta is a better athlete than these
no.
two?
Jetta was a late peaker, but
All right,
she did sub 10. 7.
10-6. She
Good.
did 10-6. So my question to that is,
Good.
why is
But
it
generally
that
speaking, how many women have done that over the course of the history of athletics?
no, but
Not many.
we're talking based on the talent of these two, and we're saying that since as they have consistently run low 10-7s, because I think Shelly has run between 10-70 to 10-74 on around 5 to
Yeah,
6
she has a
occasions.
lot. She has a lot of 1070 to 1075. It was even since Saturday, I think I was watching Shelly's races back in the day. And I'm like, listen, this girl running pure 10-7s in finals. 10-7s. She have
All
a lot
right.
of 10-7s.
Let me use the analogy here. Sachin Tendulkar is one of the greatest batsmen, right? Has he
Yeah.
ever scored a triple century? No.
Good question, man. But what I'm getting at though, Ryan, sometimes it can come down to lack of focus still, in terms of with cricket. Because remember that cricket, you're toiling out there for days upon days upon days, while in which the 100-meter is just a race that you're going to run and finish in less than, as it says, less than 10 seconds.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
I
I'm going
mean,
to
let
go
me
ahead,
just
go ahead.
support. Let me just support Sheik's point in terms of Elaine. I think when the pandemic came and the season was cancelled, Elaine herself, if my memory serves me right, she was elated about it because she's okay. Now I get time to do this and to do that and prepare for next year and so forth. I think that's what I remember her saying. So she herself was glad that she got that time to rest. So it's now on her to deliver. She got the time she wanted. Now she need to deliver.
All
Back to
right,
your
I'm going
point.
to.
What was it again? What were you saying again?
All right, if it bothers you as a fan of these two ladies, they haven't broken the 10-6
No,
barrier.
you see, once they're consistent in the 10.7, the low 10.7s, and which is pretty much the time that is needed now to win gold medals, I am okay with that. It does
Can
not
I
bother me.
chime in?
Yeah, man, you're going to get your chance in, of course. It's just a matter of time, man.
No, man,
Ryan,
because
you finished?
because I track and feel I talk about it, and I might be
Come
with that.
on, man.
So
I know that's right up your alley, man. Just come on, man. Wait, man. That's why I left you. All right. So, coach, over to you now. I want you to give your
Oh, hold
take on
on.
that.
Before you get to coach, I just want to say, because you're talking about Shelly and Elaine, and Ryan never want answer the question. Guess what? You see, in 2019 in Doha, I actually predicted Shelly to run 10.68. She didn't. She ran 10.71 because I believe that track was suited to
Yep, it
her
was.
running 10.6. I actually believe that she should have run a personal best. I just wanted to put that in before coach went to hear what him say about that.
All right,
all right,
coach. You're
all right. In terms of Shelley, I do believe that she should have run sub 10.7. However, there are many variables that will cause these athletes not to. You have the track, you have the wind, you have the condition, you have the execution and all of that. Meaning how the athletes execute the race. You know what I mean? So these are variables. So I do believe that she should have, but based on and of course you have to factor in injury. Where Shelly had this toe issue and she had a topsy turvy type of training that particular time. So many things would have caused her not to run. I do believe that if things work out the way that she is working out now, she definitely can actually break into that 10-6 where she definitely wants to go. In
but
terms
coach,
of Elaine is still
look at it though.
yes.
We are going to stick on for a bit.
Go ahead.
Remember, Shakes and I pointed out that Shelly
Mm-hmm.
has run between 1070 to 1075 on around 6 occasions. You factor in all of that, and you might say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, might be the track, but if you're running 10-7 on a track, that means that track is supposedly fast, right? Or based on how you
Mm-hmm.
executed
Or
that
the
race,
athlete is fast.
I was about to get to that, or the execution of the race was that good that you ran that such fast time. So if you can do this on 5 to 6 occasions, why is it that on one of those occasions I can't break the 10-7 barrier? Like you can't get into the 10.69 or the 10.68.
And again, I will still say execution condition will determine how fast you run as well. Not
Six
only
times?
this, I will still say it again. Because if you look at Usain Bolt 9.69 and the 9.58, who knows track and field, the coaches will tell you that Usain Bolt did not execute to the optimal. But he still ran fast. So you have to factor in those things. She did not execute, or she has not executed one of the perfect races as yet in order to run that sub 10.7. And I will stick by that.
But coach, a little bit on the Usain point that you just made. It wasn't really execution, or let me put it this way, it wasn't the drive to execute in terms of a fast time in the race that really pushed Bolt. It was, I believe that it was mostly the competition that was in the race that really pushed him,
So
right?
are you saying that Shelley has not gotten that competition to date?
I
Because
don't think that.
we're talking about Jetta,
Really?
and Jetta would have run that only
Yeah.
No,
once.
Shakes.
We
That's where
made
we're going
mention
to.
of Jetta.
All right. Remember that. I think it was. I'm not 100% sure if it was 2018 or 2019 at the National Senior Trials that Shelley and Elaine went against each other, and I believe one of them ran 10.70 and the other ran 10.71. So there was competition within that race itself for them to push each other to get that 10.6.
Yes, but
So I can't agree with you there.
that track is not the fastest track, as you pointed out, that she has been on in terms of the times that she has run in the 10.7.
I
Also,
guarantee you that if Shelley had
go
run,
ahead.
if Shelley had run on Eugene track and a number of times or several times that she ran those 10.7s, she would have gone sub 10.7.
And I agree
Because
with that.
because you see
Who's to be blamed for
those
that?
huh? Who's to be blamed?
Who is to be blamed for that?
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
into the business aspect of Shelley's handling, so I would know that.
So if
But
our point still stand, is that us why she hasn't done that? So the point still exists. Why hasn't she?
remember, I said it. I do believe she should have run it, and my point of view why she has not run it is because she would not have executed a perfect race to run sub 10.7. And as I said earlier, I will stick by that.
All
Listen,
right.
you see, from Shelley has been the Olympic champion. She has been the favorite in every race, except for the time that she has been injured.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can tell me, right, that that girl never started as favorite. So technically, and Shelley has the best start in probably the history of women sprinting. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, she is running against the clock, which is why I'm saying
Do you think sometimes we're
maybe,
expecting too much?
hold on, maybe if she just had that runner that she knows can do 10.71 also in that or on that particular day, maybe she would have pushed a little bit more.
But she has had that.
In which race? In
No,
which race?
Carmelita Jetta run below
No, man.
10.7.
Carmelita
How many
run that
times?
one time, man.
How many
One
Yeah,
times?
but
One time.
and Shelly has never run it.
No. Yeah, but
All
you
right,
see, that's the difference. That's
let me
the
try and
difference
explain
between
that
a
one.
consistent 10.7 runner
And a
versus
one time
a
10.6.
one-off runner.
Yeah. I
All
remember
right, so
most times Shelly run these races, she would have been in
Finals.
rounds. She run the rounds first and then she go into the final. Also,
Yes.
Shelly has a quick start, so she reaches top speed quicker than any other athlete. But when she reaches top speed, she might decelerate quicker than the other athletes.
Yeah,
You understand?
the athletes that has a lot of top end speed.
That's what they call it, but they decelerate slower. But the correct
Yeah.
term is the slow deceleration. So Shelly might be slowing up, might be having a rapid deceleration, and then these persons who are coming on, if you notice, most times they are closing in on her. So those are other factors that I believe would have caused her not to also run
Yeah.
that
But
prized.
coach,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you the question again. That's none of us fault. That comes down to her and her coaching because they're
And
the one that's supposed to build up her
I
top end speed.
and I agree with that.
No, but
I do believe that she
isn't
should have been running a lot more 200 meters. That would have caused her to be. And with how things are looking now with her new training regime, I hope that she can go because she's doing a lot of 200s now.
The
All right, so
deceleration that you were talking about, coach, I want
Mhm.
people to look back on the 2015 World Championships. She literally decelerated in that race and she just pipped Jetta and Veronica Campbell to that
Yeah,
gold
man.
medal. Yeah.
yeah, but Shakes, if you're into track and field, right, it's something that you should have noticed for the longest while because from Shelly has come on the scene. If you actually watch her keenly, yes, we know that she's always the fastest out of the blocks. That's why
Yeah,
she
but
got the name Pocket Rocket. But when
yeah,
it
but
comes on
Levon,
to
let me interject. Sorry to be barging in like that, but we don't know the objective that the coach has for his athletes going forward or the athletes going forward. The objective could be a triple world champion, a triple Olympic champion. Then after we complete that, then we focus on time. And if you could look at a Million Walker situation, the coach wanted her to win, and then the following year he was targeting the world record.
The world record, yeah.
That didn't materialize. So you have to look at all those other things. So was the objective of the coach for her to run that fast in her career or win global titles? So you have to look on that as well.
yeah. I also want to point out that Ashanti Moore ran a PB over the weekend as well. And a lot of people are saying that this 4x1 women team can challenge that
Hot,
world record.
hot.
Because they're saying that, okay,
Yep.
you have Shelly-Ann, Elaine, Natalia White, and more than likely Brianna Williams.
Mhm.
So if you had those four into a quartet, you could very well see a world record. And let's point out that Brianna Williams has started off this season slowly. She's
And let me correct that. It's not slow. When Brianna run the sub 11, her season opener was 10-6. She might be seemingly starting slow, but she opened with a 11-2. So take that into consideration.
well,
I'm not worried
well.
about.
Repeat what you just said a while ago.
I'm
Repeat
saying
what you just said.
when she ran the 10-9, which is a sub 11. I think it was
Brianna.
2019. Yes. Her season
Oh, you
opener
mean the
was
win aided?
11-6. Her
Yeah, man, it
season
was win aided.
Oh, the win aided. Okay.
win aided at
Yeah,
the
remember
national
that
trials.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that was win aided.
her
Because
PB,
that's
her
why
PB
that's
is
why I
still
asked you to
11.02
repeat.
winner.
No man,
That's
that
why I asked you to
that
repeat because
No,
her
man,
PB is
her PB is 11.02, man. Check it.
it
check
was
it
win aided,
again.
man.
Check it again.
No, we
The,
checked it
the,
recently.
the 10.95 that she ran, it was win aided, man.
We checked it recently.
All right, that's not corrected. But the point I'm trying to make is that
Yeah, it's still 11.02.
when she ran that fast time, she opened with 11-6, according to her coach. Now she opens with 11-2. So he's basically saying to her, it's nothing to worry about.
I know why Ryan asked you to repeat, you know. Ryan, I heard you said 10-6. That's the reason why I said repeat.
I think that's what I said for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But as I said, you know, different athletes and different coaches have different regimes
But, yeah.
for athlete that they're working at, and that seems to be the case with Brianna because I've seen her doing a lot of strength
Yeah.
work over the past couple of weeks. So
And
that
the
could very
arms.
well might be the case. But it's a good time to look forward to the female track and field. But on the male side, boy,
Look past that.
That's dead.
It seems to be a cycle that the males are going through. But when you look at the top persons in the world right now, they are not miles ahead of the or
When you
male
say a
athletes.
cycle, why do you say a cycle?
Because life passes through a cycle.
Yeah, but technically Jamaica has never really had male sprinters like that in terms of the 100 meters.
It
No,
was
I'm
never
talking
just a
about
female. consistently.
Yeah, but look at the Usain Bolt era. That is an era that we would have enjoyed. So that
Yeah, man,
time
but
is
you're
not going to
saying,
come
but you're
That was
around.
a
saying, but you're
one-off,
saying, yeah, but that is thank you, because that is once since what, 1950?
Yeah, but we
So,
were performing
so
well in male
that's a 40
sprinting.
year gap. That's a
No,
40
man.
year gap. So are you saying that our cycle might end up being another 20, 30 years?
It possibly could be, depending on the talent that is coming up.
Because you
But
use
it
the word
depends. But
cycle.
the women,
I this
the
but
women 100, 200 have always been a consistent theme.
Yeah.
but
well, I mean,
I disagree with though, coach, when it comes down to the athletes that are out there on the circuit that are actually running. Because for instance, you look at a man like Trayvon Bramwell who was out injured, coming back into the fold. Recently ran 9.88.
mhm.
Remember that you still have Andre DeGrasse still around. Remember that Ronnie Baker is still thereabouts. So, and
But
even the man that has looked the best this season out of the lot to me, Akani Simbine. Yes, when it comes down to the major games, he has somewhat disappointed. But we're talking about right now, and based on how things are right now, these people are miles ahead of the Jamaicans.
I wouldn't say miles ahead.
Literally.
I wouldn't say miles ahead.
What?
Only
What?
person that is miles ahead is a Trayvon Bramwell. I'm not saying we have the
Don't let.
best male athletes in the world, you know. But
Do you think we have a male 100-meter runner that can make the final?
of
Just the
course,
final.
Please don't tell me you and
Realistically,
Blake. Please don't tell me you and
realistically,
Blake.
realistically,
yes.
Johan Blake and that youngster in at races. What's his name again?
Oh, oblique
Civil.
civil.
Oblique Civil.
You are not passing semi-final.
He has been progressing
And
very well.
that is if we go to the Olympic.
I've been one of the biggest Johan Blake fans, right? And boy, I don't know. It looked very shaky.
Remember I said it in a semi-final at best. Well,
I tend to agree, but you never know what can happen.
well,
Yeah, I
let me
mean,
answer. Hold on, let me recap because I just said something wrong. I actually said that Ewan Blake will not finish inside the top 3 for Jamaica at senior trials. That's
exactly.
what I said.
Thank you.
I'm sticking by my point.
What is the top 3, or what is your top 3?
What currently?
No, he
Yeah.
never really gave one, you know. He
I
just
never
said
gave a top 3.
I'm
All right.
asking now.
All right. So based on what I see, as you just mentioned, Civil has looked decent. If this athlete stays away from injury, I think Julian Fort will be in the top 3 as well. When you look outside of that now, I'm going to put Nigel Ellis ahead of Blake. I'm going to. So currently, those men are ahead of him. As I said, Blake not finishing inside the top 3, but
And I'll give you the support on that, because Nigel Ellis and Julian Ford is coached by the Guru.
okay,
So I'll give you
so
that one.
he's agreeing with 2 of your names. So coach, so that realistic answer that you gave, that Blake can make it to the finals, boy, you're not even sure if he can make it to the Olympics.
I was babbling right there. I was just babbling right there. Don't take me serious on that one.
As I said, we can only hope. We hope for the best.
Yeah, man.
I am sure sports Tajay Gill won't compete in the 100-meter. He won't. That man will focus on the long jump. He has run decent. He has run decent in the 100-meter, and there's as you're going to say, coach, there are talks of him doing it.
Yeah,
but
there were talks.
Look for him next Olympics here.
Yeah, man. Next Olympics, just like he's going to pull off a Blessing Okagbar style.
Yeah.
But Shakespeare, about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say Stephen going let him run at the World Championships first.
Yeah, I
Test
believe
him out.
that is going to be his trial.
Yeah.
On that note, though, it was a decent weekend for the Jamaican athletes, and finally, an athlete that I had high hopes for as well. She hasn't kicked on as much as I wanted her to, but she finally broke 13 seconds, and I'm sure the producer might somewhat be happy about this. Desiree Freeman, formerly of Manchester, who also went to Queens. She finally broke 13 seconds in the 100 hurdles. So good for her. Just hope that she keeps on improving because she was a decent talent throughout high school. So I hope that she'll come through and eventually get up there. But yeah, I also watched a lot of the world relays over the weekend. Was impressed somewhat by some of the teams, while some of them you just say, okay, not going anywhere.
Total feel about that.
Yeah, man, I was in tune to it, man. I watched lots of track over the weekend. Producer, go inside. Nobody now watch it. Let's move on to some football. So we saw some EPL action over the weekend. Some very entertaining games and some that was marred by controversy. But we're going to start off with Crystal Palace against Man City Rondo 2-0 victors. I'm going to start with Ryan because Ryan was on the podcast. We call that game and we got the
Yeah, we did.
scoreline correct.
Yeah.
Your take on the game itself, Ryan?
What I expected, a 2-0, comfortable 2-0 from City with City changing their team is basically a first 11 anyway. So
Yeah, because
it's neither here nor there.
guess what?
But I expected a comfortable 2-0 victory, and they delivered on that.
Yes, it's like City resting their back line. The back four at the back that cost over 200 million and bringing their four at the back that cost over 500. So I mean, is that a case of the quality would have actually dropped?
Can we just talk about that goal by Sergio Aguero?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was just quality. It was exactly 10 years ago that Man City won that title. Yeah. I mean, since Aguero went to Man City, sorry. So it was just fitting that he has been at the club for 10 years and scored that goal, because technically he won City that first title. That was what, in 2012, I believe. 2012. We know with that greatest last second, last minute goal, whatever you want to call it, right? And the finish by him just reminds us of what a quality striker he has been, right? Yes, I'm a Manchester United supporter, but guess what? Quality.
Why you have to bring up that
quality. Listen, all on 11, quality is quality, and nobody can deny that Aguero, right, has been quality throughout his entire stay in the EPL, right?
Take him over Cavani any day.
Yeah, man, one of the very few players that, guess what, he would literally start in every team, week in, week out.
Why say every team across the world?
No, in the EPL, boss.
Oh, make sure that I was just clarifying now because
no, man, in the EPL.
So as you pointed out, yeah, it was a decent goal by him. Next up, Brighton got a 2-0 victory over Leeds United. Finally, Brighton got a win, and it's not looking that good for Sherwin. Ensure that you're watching now because that bet is still on. Sherwin said to me that, you're what? Brighton is going to get relegated, West Brom is going to stay up. I tell him and say, boss, before me take your money, just drop the bet. But he said, no, man, that I got big sum, I got make the money escape it. So I'm saying, all right, the bet is on. Sherwin, I said it on the podcast, so don't try to go around the thing. Anyways, Shakes, 2-0 victor for Brighton, and guess what? Danny Welbeck coming up with a goal as well. Your take?
Yeah, so that game was an end-to-end game. The scoreline I don't think it reflects what happened in the game. Yes, Brighton were better, but people just think that Brighton just walked over Leeds. It was a good game, as I said, end-to-end. Danny Welbeck, standout player on the day. Brighton got a whole lot of chances, missed some simple chances. Marpe, Trossard, Welbeck also missed one. Good penalty by Gross. Good finish by Welbeck. Leeds, what can I say about Leeds? Leeds is probably the most consistent team in the EPL in terms of winning, then losing, then winning, then losing. So if they win the last game, look for them to lose the next game, right? I think 14 wins, 15 losses, and I think 5 draws, something like that.
Yeah, you saw Leeds stats before the game. As much wins as loss, as much goals scored as given.
Well,
So
there
if
you go.
yeah,
So yeah, they're
Good.
the most consistent.
if give and take was a team, it would be Leeds.
Yeah, man, Leeds United.
All right. I was going to bring in the coach, but I'm going to stick to Ryan because Ryan is surely elated, somewhat, because Levon got a prediction wrong. I really wanted Fulham to get the draw in this match, but Fulham was so disappointing. Chelsea 2,
What?
Fulham nil. Well,
Another correct.
hold on. Let me rephrase. Kai Havertz 2, Fulham nil. Go ahead now, Ryan.
All right, I didn't know that Kai Havertz created the goals by himself, but okay. This is what another result that I predicted correctly.
Yeah, man, you did.
Never have a bad weekend.
It was good, man.
I hope you
It
want
hasn't
some
finished yet,
money.
either, so just keep it rolling. Don't say nothing yet. Just keep it rolling.
Well, another game that I expected, another result that I expected, another comfortable victory expected from Chelsea against Fulham. You know, we normally have Fulham ticket, and it just played out how I expected it. Comfortable 2-0 victory, basically. Moving on to the next games.
Yeah, I watched
Hopefully
that
you
match.
did.
There wasn't really much excitement in the game. You know, it was all Chelsea walking through the game basically. Timo Werner was just running at the back line. ZH, Havertz, they basically just did whatever they wanted to do in the game. Yes, Lookman had one good chance with Mendy making a smart save, but that was it really.
And the one with
Fulham,
Aina, the one that deflected and went.
no man, the one that
Here.
the one from the corner, that he was trying to hit from the right hand side,
No, I
and
remember
Mendy
that.
made
But
a
then there
smart
was
stop.
also another big save from Mendy, the one that Aina hit and it got deflected and Mendy was going the other way and adjusted. Do you remember that
Yeah,
save?
that was a good save also. But yeah, really and truly, as you said, Levan, I was disappointed in Fulham, especially for a team that you know you basically need to get at least a point. Yeah.
All right, Shakes. I'm going to ask you this question. Scott Parker to Tottenham at first.
Go again.
Scott Parker to Tottenham at Tottenham.
Uh will that happen? I think they're going to give Ryan Mason until the end of the season. They
Yeah.
they may see what happens in preseason. If they have a decent preseason and if they can pull off 1 or 2 decent transfers, they may keep him for the first 8 to 10 games, see what happens, and then if it's not going well, and all this is dependent, of course, on whether or not Hurricane stays. So this is if he stays. I'm saying this if Hurricane stays, right? For the 8 to 10 games, if it goes well, maybe they'll stay with Mason. If it goes downhill, yeah, look for somebody in Netherlands or somebody in England to take over.
Can I have a shot at this question?
Yeah.
I think, all right, Scott Parker is a Tottenham old boy. Scott Parker used to coach their academy, so he knows the ins and outs of Tottenham. He plays a decent brand of football. Tottenham also have a philosophy of trying to promote from within. I know over the last couple of years, Levy has been trying to change that model for Tottenham to be one of the big teams in Europe. But I think at this stage, where football is and the amount of quality coaches available, Tottenham can look to go back to that model. And I think Scott Parker would be a good fit for them if they want to do that. But I don't know what Levy's mindset is right now. But he seems to be trying to be a contender than trying to build something right now. But if he wants to go back to the building philosophy, then yes, Scott Parker.
All right. So here's Jason in the comment section saying that if you follow Ryan, Parker can coach Chelsea too. Well,
I don't understand that.
I'm going to call it here first, and I'm going to take a shot at it. I believe the new coach of Tottenham Hotspur will actually be Rafa Benitez. Well, it's a wild target, but for some reason I think it's going to happen.
Benitez?
Yeah, he wants to leave China. He wants to come over back to England.
I don't know about that.
We shall see. Coach is still there, right?
I'm hearing a feedback. I wasn't here a while ago. Are you hearing me?
No,
Breaking
keep
up.
on hearing a baffling. All right. Next up we saw Everton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa getting a 2-1 victory. Shakes.
Yeah, another end-to-end game. Aston Villa versus Everton. Some really good chances in that game. The keepers definitely came up trumps in that game. Martinez and Pickford. Don't really want to say his name, but yeah, made some smart stops in that game. Unlike him. But anybody watching the game would have to give him props in that match. Yeah. Defender shot himself in the foot in terms of Holgate. Boy, Jamaica wants him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, very soon you'll see him down in the
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what
premium
he
and
was.
that.
I don't know what he was thinking. If Everton don't get a European place.
There's a possibility, Shakes, that he was probably thinking about some Jamaican food. Probably
Oh
that.
Lord. Yeah, like honestly, if you guys were the coach, right, what would you guys have done? For me,
Sub
when
him.
I saw it, I was like, I think I would literally sub him and don't play him for the rest of the
Sub him.
season. That's just me, right? Because for
Agreed.
me, it was just inexplicable what he did, right? There's just no way you can be trying to just clear the ball. You're a defender, clear the ball. Stop trying to be some ball playing. Just clear the ball. But anyway, yes, good goal by Ollie Watkins in terms of nicking the ball from him, and I mean he got up and finished well. Calvert-Lewin with the reply.
Yeah,
His
man.
goal was an excellent goal.
El Ghazi goal was a good goal.
Yeah, man. As I said, there were some smart stops in the game by Pickford and Martinez. One from Pickford and Traore,
Traore.
and one,
That was a peach of
yes,
a save, man, because
that
that ball was
was
curling into the
a
top
big
corner.
save. Yeah, man, that was a big save, right? And for Martinez, that diving header by Calvert-Lewin, where he just palmed it out with the right hand. Yeah, that was a big save because Everton would have gone 2-1 up at that point. And then that goal by El Ghazi, brilliant finish. He literally just picked his corner and placed it. Yeah,
It did.
unstoppable.
All right. So next up we saw another disappointing team. Newcastle losing 2-0 to Arsenal, and all the panelists got that one wrong. They had said that Newcastle would have won this game. It wasn't to be. Ryan, Arsenal getting a 2-0 victory. Aubameyang back among the scorers. Your take?
Well, as I said, we all got that one wrong. Unfortunately. What do I have to say? Well, this is basically a pep for Arsenal to go into their midweek fixture rather, and try to build on the momentum that they have created over from Saturday. Yeah, that's basically it. What else are going to do? There's nothing else to do for Arsenal right now than to just try and win the rest of their league games and try and come as high as they can in the table and maybe try and win the Europa. And
let me just state this, because you guys know I hate Steve Bruce, right? And I just don't believe that he should be a coach, none tall, right? But if you wanted a confidence booster, right, or to give a team a confidence booster for an upcoming game, a midweek game, that is what Steve Bruce did. Why on God's earth would you know that Arsenal have been playing so poor and you set up your team to sit back like that against Arsenal?
Because it's Steve Bruce. That's what Steve Bruce did.
Arsenal are a mid-table team. A mid-table team. Why you need to sit back against a mid-table team? But then again, it's Steve Bruce. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. That guess what? Newcastle would have done well with a draw in that game, you know. Especially the 3 points would have basically confirmed their safety, right? But guess what? It was just horrific to see the man set up the team like that against Arsenal, who they are so low on confidence right now. Yeah, they're so low on confidence. You basically go out as cones. Just go out as cones and just say, all right, gonna come play some ball. That's it. That's it. No, listen, I don't know. Steve Bruce agent is one of the best agents in the world. No joke.
Check if him and Chipper Morton have the same agent.
Most. Because I remember a few weeks ago, I brought up Chupa Mountain.
Yeah.
So his agent, he owes his agent a ton load of money.
Alright, so Shakes, you're gonna go on. You just take over the entire thing that Ryan was supposed to discuss. I'm going to give Ryan this game as well. Ryan will surely be happy about this one because he called the scoreline correctly. He said Tottenham 4, Sheffield United 0. So another one in Ryan Hatton. Guys, if you had listened to the show on Friday, you would have won some money over the weekend.
Big money.
Ryan, take it away.
Another result that I got correct and another pattern of play that I expected from Tottenham. I expected Tottenham to come out attacking and just play football because there's nothing for them to lose because Sheffield is dead and buried already. The most they can do is to try to honor their fixtures and play for pride. And Tottenham basically mathematically still seeking a Champions League spot, and they are in the running for a Europa spot. They are more certain of getting a Europa spot than a Champions League spot. So it was what I expected in terms of Tottenham playing football and getting the goals. And so said, so done.
Talk about that hat-trick by one. Gareth Bale.
Yeah, all of a sudden I hear that this man is a world-class player all of a sudden against the worst team in the EPL. Seriously? Come on.
It was never a good hat-trick though. But that's about it. That's about it really.
But Shakes, you're horribly the boss. Although I remember
no, but you see, that's what a manager does, you know, right? You're the interim manager and you're trying to build up the confidence in the players. So you have to say that. But we all know that ain't true. Gareth Bale is slow like a slug.
You said that's a done baller.
Done baller that man.
We're going to get this from Bale like once every 10 games.
Exactly, right? And for to get those games, you have to be playing those type of teams, right? But you
have to not play him a lot because he will get injured.
Yeah.
Brother, so why are you guys beating the Welsh?
So guess what? He's world class. He's world class at inconsistency right now. That's a fair point.
Shakes, you're horrible, boss. You're very horrible. I'm going to stick with you on this one, Shakes. Well, no, I'm going to give Ryan. West Brom against Wolves, 1-1.
What did I say for that one? What did I have for that one? 2-2
Yeah, that's what you said.
I got the result, but not the scoreline.
Yeah.
They say you're a prophet. They say you're a prophet, Ryan.
But you got the draw. So it was Fabio Silva got the go-ahead goal for Wolves.
I saw that goal
by Diagne.
But I don't think him mean it.
Big buck up.
Buck up.
Big talk about Sam Johnstone through that match.
I watched the first half. I didn't see the second half.
They actually gave him the play of the match.
Oh, he did something special in the second half.
He pulled off quite a few saves, man.
Oh, okay. Well, in terms of what I expected from the game was what I saw in the first half in terms of Wolves coming at West Brom, and then West Brom fighting back on a ding dong battle basically, because Wolves are trying to secure their position, and West Brom still have something, as small as it is, they have something playing for, because they have experience in terms of a great escape already. So in their mind, they think they can do that, and they also have the specialist as a coach who think they can do that. So I expected both teams to fight, and in the end, it to be a draw.
So after that, we saw the final well, not the final fixture. I'm just clearing off all these fixtures just for the big part of the show. So earlier on today, we saw West Ham getting a 2-1 victory over Burnley, boosting their chances of qualifying, still remain in a position to qualify for the Champions League. Shakes, your take.
Yeah,
And hold on a second. Let's point out that something that I've noticed: these players that are actually honoring the Ramadan, they have actually been performing better because
I
of it.
know. I'm going to mention his
Saeed
name.
Saeed
I'm going
Benrahma
to
was
mention his
absolutely
name.
brilliant today. Go ahead, Shakes.
Championship player, man.
Mm.
Go ahead. Your take.
But yes, I watched that game in full today, right? And I was like, boy, I said Benrahma is a real championship player. And I was in full agreement with myself. You know why? Because this is one game, and which game we reach in the season now?
34.
Game what?
34.
34. Exactly. So he was outstanding today. Outstanding today, right? But guess what? You can only give me this one game out of 34 games. Come on. Listen, you see that ball that he put in for Mikel Antonio was world class. I will admit that. That ball was right in that area of uncertainty where the defenders can't touch it, the goalkeeper can't come for it, right? Um, if you remember Kevin De Bruyne's ball against PSG, is the same type of ball that he was putting in today. It's just that Antonio came in late and just flicked it into the goal. Um, Burnley, they got a deserved penalty. Yes, ridiculous challenge by Soucek. I don't know what he was thinking with that challenge, right? But West Ham, they're resilient. That is one thing I know. They're very resilient. So immediately they got that goal. And I remember when we were discussing the Jamaican team and we brought up Antonio, I said, guess what? Antonio for me is somebody that is intelligent in the football penalty box. And that was clearly evident for persons who watch the game would see that. Guess what? You see, many players aren't blessed with skill, flair, and certain technical abilities. But guess what? You see, if you have a football brain, you can make it. And for me, Antonio is a rough, tough, rugged looking football player, not your
Literally.
average, literally, not your average footballer, right? But guess what? The man is literally the third leading goal scorer in West Ham's Premier League history, right? I think he has 46. Paulo Di Canio has 48 and Mark Noble has 47. He's on 46. But listen,
Talk about it that this man was being played as a right back
exactly, he was a right
midfielder
back
thinking.
originally. And for him to move, and that's why I'm harping on the intelligence of him as a footballer, right? Because he was basically able to transition himself, right? And be technically the most important player on that West Ham team, right? Because he gets you goals, right? He was just returning. Moyes put Bowen on the bench. So listen, and for those who watched the game today, he literally could have had about 5 goals in the game. About 5 goals, right? If the decision making was a little bit better from him and by his teammates, he literally could have had 5 goals in that match.
All right,
It
Shake. So
was all West Ham.
you finish with the beating now.
It wasn't beating. I
So
bigging
all
up
right,
Antonio, man.
you were
I
just
was happy.
indicating. Oh, okay,
Listen,
boss.
I was very happy, Levon. I was very happy with what I
That
saw today.
that's you being happy.
No, in terms of Jamaica, because I want him to be leading our line.
Shakes, are you finished?
Yeah, man, I am.
Okay.
Did
So
I call that one correct as well, right?
I believe you did as well.
I
I
think
think
so.
you said
I think I
2-1.
said 2-1 for
Yeah.
that one.
Okay,
I
so
am the
here I
prophet.
am. I've reached a point of the night that I really wanted to get to. So the fixture that should have been the fixture of the weekend, well, technically it was, but it was marred by controversy, a huge one that is.
Oh boy.
So Manchester United were unable to play Liverpool because of some hooligans who stole Old Trafford pitch. That guess what? I can't actually believe that you have fans in Jamaica who actually agrees with this stupidness, especially one of our viewers, Raheem Morrison. For a young man who I actually think has intelligence, the man come across dunce. The man was up there was saying that, yes, Glazers out, Glazers out, but boss, at what extent are you going to go? Are you going to go and vandalize the place? Are you going to run riots? How is that you protesting? And Ryan was one of them also, and I don't think I forget it, you know. Ryan was
I know
somebody
you
that
don't
agreed
forget.
with it what they did. Don't try to hide that,
Ryan
you know.
was
And
in
No, I'm not
agreement,
hiding.
man.
I'm right here.
I mean,
I
come
never
on.
come off the. I never come off the screen.
Can look at it. Yes, fans have the right to protest, you know. That's a constitutional right. Yes, you can protest, but come on, man, a peaceful protest, right? Why are you going to go to an extent that you're going to vandalize the stadium? Why? Why are you going to? I'm going to quote Graham Souness. One of those beer cans could have hit someone somewhere and killed them. That's what he said. So
Sones is
come
an
on, why are you
idiot.
going to go to that extent? What did I say, right?
Sones is an idiot.
No, man, he's actually talking facts because
No, but he's
Shakes
an
as a
idiot.
doctor can tell. Listen, hold on, Ryan. Shakes as a doctor can tell that if that can slap me somewhere up here, that can actually cause death, you know. Because remember that it wasn't the case as if fans were
Yeah,
actually doing this, you know.
because beer can's been killing people across the world.
Is that impossible?
People been
But
using pencils killing people, man.
say no more. But on that part, I can't be in agreement with this sort of behavior, man. Come on, man. Why are you going to go to that extent? Yes, we agree that majority of us want Glazers out, but I mean, what are you going to do? Is it a case as if yes, you doing all of this, they're going to actually sell the club? No, they won't. So to what extent are you going to go? Are you going to burn down Old Trafford now? Okay, say you do that. What is going to happen? And what a lot of these fans don't actually notice is that guess what? This can have a severe impact on the players themselves. Because if I had built up my confidence for this match itself, right? And then guess what? This match end up being postponed. Then I have to wait again before Europa. That can break up my psyche because they were saying that a lot of the players were saying that they want to go out and talk to these people. But on that note, if you look at it though, that match was cancelled. Probably have to stack it up somewhere down to the back end of the season. Some were saying that probably would have been played today, but that wasn't the case. So you have to try to fit it into a congested fixture list already down to the back end of the season.
But don't Man U have a midweek game every week for the rest of the season?
That's what I'm
Yes.
bringing across to you. So they're making it bad for these players. They're not looking at the objective of United itself. And let's say the FA go along with motion because there's a possibility that the possibility exists that they can deduct points from United. They can. Not saying they will, but they can do it. If they will, that's a different argument because it was said that it was both clubs who came to agreement that here what let's postpone the match because of safety reasons. But after I beat fans like Ryan with their stupid, not Ryan, I mean Raheem, although Ryan was part of it, and the producer said, Raheem, you're an idiot for sticking up with that. But after that, I'm going to go to the owners now. Man, it has been weeks upon weeks that it was said that these people would have protested. Now, with that being said, why is it that your security was basically like Arsenal backline? Why? Why
They
was your
don't care about the
security?
fans.
That's a point. You just made my point. But if you look at it again, why is it the case that you didn't actually be proactive? You just end up being reactive like Trent Alexander-Arnold defending. Why? Why didn't you actually go out there and put things in place that these people could actually not enter the stadium? Because yes, they have been protesting outside the stadium for weeks upon weeks now. But guess what? They didn't take it serious. And let's see how this one goes. Because it is said that there will be another protest the 15th and the 16th of this month. So let's see how this one goes. And my final take on this, I hope that each and every one of those fans that went onto that pitch gets banned. And why did I say final? I can't stop until
I don't think they can be banned for going onto the pitch, but the ones that did the vandalism, I think those
the vandalism.
Yeah, I think those ones can be banned, should be banned. But the ones that, because if you are doing a peaceful protest and you're going to field, I don't think rightfully you can ban them for that. But the ones who went above and beyond.
Let's be honest though, Ryan. Which of those guys you saw that were peaceful right there?
No, but what they did, light flare.
Yeah.
Okay, and
they were trying to damage the stadium, the seats.
No, that's what I'm saying. The ones that went above and beyond to vandalize, those are the fans that should be punished.
All right, I agree with that, and I'm going to have my final say on the issue. Raheem, as a youth, stop listening to idiot like Gary Neville. Gary Neville is an idiot who just uses medium to build up people. But he is one of the main person behind this. You can't tell me anything otherwise. I personally believe that because such a huge following, and you know that he is work for Sky Sports, so you don't know a lot of people watch that. So guess what? He's one of them that actually influenced some of these fans to go out and do stupidness like this. So Raheem, as a youth, stop going around listening to Gary Neville. Gary Neville is an idiot. And I say that without any sort of apology. I don't like this man, and that's that. Let's quickly take a look at the Champions League that will take place tomorrow and Wednesday. So, Ryan, you said you're going through to the final.
To be honest with you, I don't even mind if no goal score.
So, for a bit. Let's touch on the match that will take place tomorrow. So,
where's Ryan? Why did Ryan leave as he said that?
All right. So for the viewers that would
hold on, what happened? You heard what I said?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and then he just vanished because what you said was wrong.
So I'm speaking about Chelsea against Real Madrid. Chelsea currently, well, some said that they hold the advantage with that away goal, but I personally think that away goals doesn't count real right now with no fans in stadium and all of that. So
what I said was wrong. I said I'll take a double board nil draw.
No, I get that. I get that's what you said, man. But
that will bring me through, so that's not wrong.
I trouble Ryan, me, trouble you, man, Ryan.
Oh, okay. I thought you were agreeing with you. Oh, okay.
From an analytical standpoint, how you say this one goes? Let's point out that there's news that Sergio Ramos might be able to play this game.
I heard he will play, and I heard that Varane is out.
Yeah, Varane is out.
Varane is out.
Oh, well.
Varane is out. Valverde is out.
Oh, Valverde. Yeah, I heard about Valverde.
Hopefully Marcelo as well.
And Mendy is back.
Should be.
Yeah. Well, this game, just like I said last week, can go anywhere. I said 1-1 last week, came to pass. I wouldn't mind a nil draw tomorrow, but I'm not exactly certain that will happen. I think goals will be scored, or even at least a goal will be scored, and hopefully if it's one goal, it's scored from Chelsea's end. So
Ryan,
hopefully we can
Ryan, remember what I just said before you began the analysis, and I said from an analytical standpoint, not emotional.
Not a hopeful standpoint.
And not an hopeful standpoint. So let's be analytical and emotionless on this pick.
You want me to give an analytical scoreline as well?
Yes, sure. That's what I want.
I am going to somehow stand by my nil-all scoreline. For some strange reason, I am going to just stand by that scoreline.
Wow, Shakes, you know what's surprising? he actually got what? I believe he got either 4 or 5 result correct over the weekend. He got 2 correct in the midweek because he said that both matches would have drawn. So that's 7 out of 12 that he got over the weekend.
Profit.
Wow. Guys, listen to the Chelsea man. Shakes.
Yeah.
PSG. Again.
Oh, you're
Man
not
City.
asking me about Real Madrid?
You want a scoreline? I know you're going to say Real Madrid.
Yeah, because I just think that the way football works, if you don't kill a team when you get the chance to, and
Come back to haunt
especially
you.
a team like Real Madrid in the Champions League, that's the only reason I would pick them to win.
You know, one of the analysts on
Because
ESPN, Ali Moreno, he made an analogy today about Real Madrid, remind him of the Thriller music video, where they just coming at you, so till they catch you.
yeah,
Because the analysts on ESPN, they were saying, all of them were saying Real Madrid, but he actually used an analogy to describe how he sees Madrid. And
yeah.
he said because Chelsea did not kill them off when they should, you think that they will find a
No,
way.
but it's true. Listen, when you give Real Madrid a chance, because remember, Chelsea got so many chances in that first leg. Real Madrid Chelsea should have had 1 foot already in the final, right? But you see, when you give Real Madrid that breathing chance, that chance to go and say, all right, hey, guess what? We literally played a terrible game and the scoreline is 1-1. So guess what? If we play half decent, we not beat them easy.
Especially with Sergio Ramos back around there to keep these guys level. Huh?
Listen,
Come
for
on,
me,
man.
don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if there are 4 goals in that game, and I'm leaning toward Real Madrid.
All right, boss. Man City taking on PSG. Man City currently hold the advantage. They won 2-1 over at PSG yard. Shakes said that PSG are way better away from home. So, Shakes, I'm going to ask you, do you see Kylian Mbappe showing up when it matters most, or will it be a case of injury problems coming at the wrong time of the season for him?
Before I give the analysis, I want you to put up Elton Gardner's comment, right? Yeah, put it
Sure.
up. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that we can see it if it really happens,
Elton, remember that we save these things in a box, so
Yeah,
you're going to be on the next show. All right,
I won't
Shakes, go
forget that.
ahead.
But yes, onto the PSG Man City game. Yes, as you alluded, PSG they are far better. They're far better away from home. They have so many home losses this season, about 7 or 8 home losses. So them being away is actually a good thing for them. 2-1 Champions League for PSG. I don't think they're out of it. You asked me about Mbappe. Mbappe is not fit. Mbappe wasn't fit. For those who not in the medical field, Mbappe wasn't fit for the first leg. Don't watch same make 2 man sit down on the ground. But if you realize his explosive speed was not there, right? And he only did few sprints. Mbappe that we know can run for 90 minutes. He never ran for 90 minutes, right? For those who literally know about injuries, yes, he was probably about 60% fit, right? Now,
He got rested
onto
over
the
the
match
weekend.
tomorrow. For those looking to see Mbappe, if Pochettino starts Mbappe tomorrow, it might be a season-ending injury for him, meaning he would literally miss the Euros, possibly, if they try to run him tomorrow, right? So for me, I don't want to see him play tomorrow.
Well,
If there is a slight chance come tomorrow, so probably they did some imaging study tonight into early tomorrow, and they probably tested to see. But you see, because the style of play by Mbappe he's a sprinter, right?
it's an
It's not
injury
going to
prone
be
style of play.
ideal, huh?
It's an injury prone type of ball game that he
Yes,
plays.
it's not. He
I didn't
isn't.
see much of this player, but he kind of reminds me a bit of him.
Who's that?
Ronaldo, R9.
Oh, I thought you was
Oh,
going to say Michael
yeah, yeah.
Owen.
Yeah. So come tomorrow. If for me, even if he's in the squad, guess what? Mbappe must only come on for the last 15 minutes of the game if you're probably chasing a goal or you're trying to score a goal to win in 90 minutes. For me, so this is the real analysis of it. For me, tomorrow needs to be the Neymar show. This is the moment for redemption. You see, me as a Brazilian, Neymar has been rolling around since the World Cup. He has literally been rolling from South America to Russia, go all the way back to Europe. He has been rolling around in games from that time. Now, for me, I want to see him perform on the biggest stage. And there is no bigger stage than the Champions League, and trying to come back from 2-1 down against a City team, knowing that you don't have your sidekick playing with. Right? So automatically you're going to start the game as the inferior team if Mbappe is not in that starting 11. Plus, yeah, we all know you're 2-1 down. Man City have 2 away goals, so clearly you are not the favorites anymore. Man City right now, via the index, the European index, they are 57% to literally win the Champions League. So clearly,
Overwhelming favorite.
PSG, yeah, PSG way behind, right? To even advance through this tie. But for me, he needs to show up tomorrow, right? And I'm glad somebody mentioned Kevin De Bruyne. Because like for the entire for all of last week, I've been trying to store it in my brain. Kevin De Bruyne is a yellow card away from missing a match. That stupid yellow card that he picked up in the game, ridiculous, right? No, and why I'm bringing this up, you see, if the game is close tomorrow, say the game is 1-1 tomorrow, because I think most people expect both teams to score. So I think most people would go with at least a 1-1 score line at minimum. Now, if the game is 1-1, it means that it's wide open. Now, suppose Kevin has to make a challenge to stop somebody. He can literally miss the final because he might very well pick up that yellow card, right? So Man City and Kevin has something on the line. He has to be extremely cautious. So is that going to play on his mind where he's thinking, oh, I can only do half-hearted challenges. I can't really step to a man like I would want to. I can't press the
But the
player
good
as
thing
I
is, the
want
good
to.
thing for Kevin is Kevin does not really tackle that much. So that's the
Yeah, but
good
no,
part for
that's what I'm
him.
saying, Ryan. What if it comes down to the game being
No, I get what
1-1
I get what you're
with
saying. I get what
half an hour? With half an hour. Remember, it's just one goal. PSG would need to carry to extra time. And if the game go to extra
No,
time,
no, 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 no,
you
no, Chef.
basically
No. You're
what?
incorrect. PSG actually needs 2 goals. Remember that Man City have 2 away
No,
goals.
no,
If the match
no. I'm
finishes,
saying
No,
no.
he
You're
said
not
if
listening
it's
to me, Levon.
one
I'm
all,
saying
he
if
said
it
it's
was
1-1.
1-1 with one goal to get and PSG gets that goal, it would head to extra time.
okay,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So as I saying, that can play on his mind. So he might very well have to be half-hearted in the game, right? So let's see what transpires in the game. For me, Neymar needs to show up, right?
So after
Is
saying
not
all of that, what's the scoreline?
the score line. Funny enough, I go in with a 2-1 PSG carrying it to extra time.
And who go final?
PSG and penalties, Keylor Navas.
Keylor Navas don't need to do anything when City a kick penalty.
Ryan, I said this one finishing.
I'm going 2-1 City.
All right, boss. And
I
what
think
to
Phil
also say,
Foden going to show up more than Neymar.
we shall see.
Yeah.
Just in, we'll have another show come Wednesday, so we'll be here talking about these. I just want to say congratulations to Inter Milan on finally ending the dominance of one Juventus.
Juventus.
Yes. Can I
Conte.
add, one team should never ever win a league title so many times. We mentioned that for Byron the last time on the show.
Venter said another one.
Yeah. There mustn't be one team that wins so many league titles. Sorry.
You,
And
you know,
hopefully
you know who's
Lil
next
wins
on the
this.
list?
Hopefully Lil wins this one.
Yeah. You know who's next on the list as well, Shakes? Ajax. Ajax also won their league yesterday. I would need Ajax to lose the title soon as well.
Yeah, but
No, how much? Ajax
somebody,
is
no
not on
man,
a long run though.
they won 5, I think, in a row, and then some other team won. I
PSV, I
think
think
AZ,
I think it was
PSV, I think.
PSV.
Yeah.
Didn't Akmar never won one in between? AZ Akmar.
Remember,
Sure.
but I think PSV had a little run.
Yeah, PSV won one, but I think Akmar won one too. But Ajax not on the run, man. Ajax not on no run right now.
Yeah, they're not.
But as I said, they also won the Eredivisie yesterday, so good title win by both teams, and I kind of like this current Ajax team somewhat. They have a right back that I'm really looking forward to. They're planning to actually convert him into a centre back. His name is Devian Renchich. I hope that he comes through fully, but it's a team that I actually like. Yes. But a lot of people are saying that I'm going to go back to La Liga. I mean, Syria. In terms of achievement, where do you rank Conte when it comes on to the best in the business? Because remember that he took over a Juventus team that was in 7th.
Conte's style of coaching is very good to win a league title.
Correct.
It's not good for European football, which is why he does well in the league and bad in Europe.
Correct. And if you don't do well in Europe, you're disqualified.
Chicks. Guess what? Manchester United won a title over the weekend as well, you know.
Which one was that?
Romelu Lukaku, Ashley Young, Matteo Darmian, Alexis Sanchez.
So
yeah, but you know that it's not just Manu alone, you know. Conte win for all of the EPL players. He has so many EPL players at that club, right?
Yeah,
it's basically an EPL team. Yeah.
And but that means that Tottenham win a title as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. But as you said, as you rightfully said, Ajax isn't on a really long run. It's probably 4 years now. Because PSV won in 2015 and 2017. Feyenoord won it in 2016.
Yeah.
But I still want them to lose now. It's their time to lose. No team should win it 3 times on a chat if it's not United.
Oh Lord, you're being biased.
Just kidding right there, man. But as I said, even with La Liga, Sevilla got shot in their foot today. They actually lost 1-0 to Bilbao, so they're falling behind in the race.
Terrible.
It's basically a 3-horse race, and at this point in time, we can say...
You know, I disagree. It's still a 4-horse race. You know why? Because Barca has to play Atletico.
Yeah.
And if Barca wins that game, it opens it up. Because I don't believe Real Madrid going to win all their games, right? Because especially if they advance this week in the Champions League, we all know where their focus will be.
All right. And our final topic of the night. Shakes didn't want to, but I'm going to. We're going to touch a little bit and educate some of our viewers on Formula One. So Lewis Hamilton beat Max Verstappen over the weekend. Shakes is saying that Max Verstappen is actually the best driver in Formula One currently. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Ryan, do you agree with Shakes?
I don't watch Formula One that much.
I just follow
the result.
Well, Shakes, you're the man that follows Formula One along with myself. You're saying that had Verstappen had a car as powerful as the one that Hamilton has, he would more than likely beat Hamilton.
Say it clearly, Van, if Verstappen was the teammate, the Mercedes teammate of Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen would have 3 league titles right now.
So
3 Formula One titles.
You're telling me that if Max Verstappen was what Nico Rosberg was, he would have absolutely.
Listen, you see, people don't really. A lot of people don't really watch Formula One like that, right? So they look on the results and think that okay, you see, because Lewis Hamilton dominating, that is it. He's clearly the best. That's not how Formula One is. Most times when you have the fastest car, you're going to win. That's why Sebastian Vettel has 4 titles. But where's Sebastian Vettel now? Where has Sebastian Vettel been since he won those 4 titles?
But Shakes, you know that I can counter your argument easily when it comes down to this
By
season.
saying what?
This season, for argument's sake, so far, do you know that Hamilton doesn't have full control over the cars yet because they changed a lot of equipment for this season and they had a lot of fault. Even leading up to the Formula One season, the car was giving a whole lot of trouble, and Verstappen was, when I said miles, I mean miles ahead of him in terms of control of the car that he has and in terms of the power that his car was pushing out. Do you have any clue about that?
Of course I do.
Okay, so with that being said, yesterday proved that who was the better driver?
On the day,
Yeah.
you know that it was just the turn of events that happened that allowed
Come
Lewis
on,
to
man,
win.
Shake. Stop finding
We
excuses.
all
Come
know
on,
that
Shake.
Formula One, when safety cars come out on the strip, we all know things happen. We know
Come
when
on.
accidents happen, people can win. Perez was leading the race at one point, but guess what? He had to pit.
Are you hearing this, man?
Ridiculous.
Listen, it was a decent drive. It was a decent drive by Lewis. But yesterday wasn't a out of this world drive by him, by his standard.
But Shakes, come on, man, Shakes. You have seen this man multiple times at the back of the grid, and this man has come back from the back of the grid to win races.
I don't disagree. I don't
Hold on, let me ask
disagree.
you. I'm going to come with my follow-up question. How often has you seen Max Verstappen at the back of the pole, right? At the back of the grid, and actually finished top 3?
Levon.
And not even say winning a top 3.
Levon, number one, to answer your simple question, number one, Lewis Hamilton has been in Formula One for so many years more than Max. Not only that, Lewis Hamilton has always had a faster car than Max Verstappen since he's been on the circuit. That is a true statement.
You notice that I can kill your argument again because it's still straight.
Go ahead.
Argument. Notice I never said how much races have Verstappen won. I said how much races has Max Verstappen been at the back of the grid.
But Levon, if I have a faster car, you have a faster car, you are likely to come from the back ahead of anybody.
Boss man, listen, top 3. That's what I'm saying, and I don't even put that winning. I'm saying that you said that okay, Lewis Hamilton car is faster than Max Verstappen.
Yes. But that's a fact.
Cool. We agree with that. Okay. The second
so
driver
if you're
for
faster,
Mercedes.
hold on, Levon. So if you're faster, doesn't that give you an advantage
Shakes,
to come back?
Is it my fault why my car is faster than yours, or is because of who I drive for? Is your company supposed to go get a car as fast as
no, Levon, no. Shakes. And we know that is not how Formula One works. Don't say that.
Come on, man, Shakes.
Don't
and
say
listen,
that.
Let me finish my argument. Also, you probably say that the second driver for Mercedes, this car is probably faster than Max one as well. Okay,
hold on. You're saying probably?
All right, so it's faster. The man that drives for Mercedes, this car is also faster. Give it that.
Thank you.
No. Why is it that no Max Verstappen is unable to fill that third spot if he's at the back of the grid? I said top 3 now. You do know that
the car that Max is in this year, it has a great improvement when you compare this year with his previous years. Max literally, for the wins that he has in his career prior to this year, he literally had to work for those victories because his car is all about his driving, right? You see, this year, what are the finishes that Max has? The top 3 finishes, right?
And
Because
you're
and
still straying
hold on
away
now,
from the point, you know?
and he has top 3 finishes this season, as in first and second, solely because his car is a little bit faster this year, or much faster if you want to put it that way.
Shakes.
However,
You know one thing. You know one thing.
it's still slower than the Mercedes vehicle.
You know one thing
Everybody,
that I realize. You know one thing that I
hold on,
realize.
everybody, especially if you are somebody that actually sit down and watch the race, and you might be on the internet and watch what the Formula One commentators say and the analysts say, you will always hear them talking about it, right? They will always say it, right? Even on the weekend, I remember somebody saying, like somebody sent in a message saying, listen, Mercedes must just designate Valtteri Bottas as the number 2 driver. Bottas was on pole, right? So he started the race in first position. Hamilton was second. Verstappen was third. They were like, oh, so why do we all know that Lewis is the better driver in comparison to Bottas? That's a given, right? They were like, oh, so why they don't just let Hamilton? No, the other man was like, no, they should be allowed to race because that is what the sport is supposed to be about, competition. It shouldn't be a given going into the season that, oh, we all know that Hamilton has the fastest car. Also, we all know that the driver, the number 2 driver in that Mercedes seat, can't outwit Lewis Hamilton. So
Producer.
we know
You know one thing I
that they
realize
will
about
win.
Shakes. Shakes is a man that dislikes Jose Mourinho, you know? But Shakes
Oh Lord.
full of excuses like Mourinho. Boss, you be stop it,
Or
you
is
know?
that an excuse? But it's a fact.
Shakes, they keep on going around, and Roger Mills actually pointed out he actually made a very good point.
All
Let me
right,
read it.
hold on. No, not only that. This is Shanika. This is Shanika talking
Hold
about.
on, man. Hold on, man. This is Roger Mills coming. He's saying that
All
that's
right, go
not true.
ahead.
If you can't drive faster car or not, you won't win easily. You won't win necessarily. So, all right, Shakes. What he's
So
probably
hold
saying is
on.
that
No.
my car
I
can be
understand what
Shakes.
he's saying.
My car can be faster than yours, but if I can't control a car, how is it that I'm going to
No,
beat you?
but guess what? But guess what? We all know that from Max has touched the circuit. For those who have been watching Formula One, know that Max is the most talented driver out there right now. Every commentator says that. And guess what? Why would they be saying that for this
Tell him
youngster
to
that
prove
just
it.
come on the grid?
Tell him to prove it.
But
Tell him to
Levon,
prove it.
he's at a disadvantage because we are listen, let me tell you something. Michael Schumacher has 7 world titles. Let me ask you this. You believe that Michael Schumacher is or prior to Lewis equaling his record, you really think that Michael Schumacher was the greatest Formula One driver?
Arguably, I can't dispute it.
All right, well, guess what? He wasn't. Right? People actually rank Senna way higher than Michael Schumacher.
Some do, not all. More
Yeah,
people,
but you see,
you're going to find
but you
more
see
that
who
says that
let me tell
Schumacher
you,
is the
you
greatest
see
than more
who
that is
I
greater
take
than Senna.
serious, Levon, is actually people that are in Formula One because they know about the cars and they know
Guess
about the
what?
history of Formula One. As I said, you can't just look at the table, you can't just look at the constructors title and just go and say, all right, yeah, Mercedes win, clearly they're the best.
All right,
Oh,
Shakes, finish
Lewis
up
win,
quickly. I'm
clearly
going to
he's
wrap
the
up now.
best. Yeah. But no joke, as I said, put Max in Bottas' seat. Oh Lord. Formula One would be on fire. Literally on fire. And I don't mean the car being on fire with him. Just the competition would be on fire. Because let me tell you something. It- this goes back to the very point that we were making earlier. Shelly has never had Elaine at her very best in
Quickly,
terms of
Shakes,
running
quickly.
10-7, 10-7, 10-7. Lewis has never ever had anybody that has a car that is as fast as him in recent time. See, Nico Rosberg was actually in the seat with him, but guess what? It stressed out Nico Rosberg to basically compete with him so the man win and just retire. Because I never have the mental fortitude to continue another season.
Wait, think that now I'm to Max Verstappen. But don't answer it. We leave that for another time. And on that note, this is where we're going to end the live, and it was a big show. We had over 40 odd viewers, easily over 400 comments, and this wouldn't have been possible without our producer Josh Carl. He's the one that makes this possible. He's the one that tags a lot of our viewers, and I want to say thanks to our first-time viewers, to our regular viewers, and remember, guys, keep on sharing it to whichever group you're in. Share it to your timeline so that we can get more viewers every night. Because as I said, we can't have over 700 followers on the Facebook page and we're not getting consistently over 40 and 50 viewers per night. Come on, guys, support the movement. You all say that we give great analysis, so come on, support the movement. Until next time, which will be Wednesday, hopefully Wednesday, we'll be here to discuss your favorite sports for you guys. And something interesting is coming up. So stay tuned for that. I can't say what it is, but just look forward to it. Until next time, peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night. Until Wednesday. So long.